Hey there. I'm just sitting here being a good diabetic reseller. How you doing? So, um, failure. I have some really good information on this. Well, applying to myself, but I am certain that I am not alone. So let's get down to the regular stuff, and then I'll get into the failure thing. My word of intention today was execute, and I did just that today. Friday was a really good day. I went to PT and I hit it hard. It was really good. Saturday, early in the morning, my husband and my son um, left for one of my son's best friends, who's pretty much part of the family. Um, we've known him for a while, since the twins started um, high school. Since twins started high school, so it's almost 10 years now, and so they drove down to Miami to take care of some property that my father-in-law owns. And so I have been by myself in a quiet home. And what have I been doing? Working the entire time. I've been working. I have 17 days left until I go see my babies in Washington. I'm very excited about that. And so Sunday, um, I was doing the same thing and I was organizing. However, I had to get down on all fours to hook up a monitor, plug it in down on the ground, and my knee didn't like that at all. It got real stiff and swollen, and I had like a black and blue. So when I went to PT on Monday, um, you know, the original trainer that I was with, her internship ended, and so I was with someone else, and I guess I don't feel as comfortable. Um, the other trainer, the intern, is Tessa, and for whatever reason, her and I just really clicked. Like we um, agreed on what we believe in doctors and how to treat ourselves, um, and how to work hard to get what you want. And I was really proud for how strong I've become in the last 2 weeks and how good my knee feels. So I was a little disappointed when I showed up on Monday and I had the new trainer. And, we don't know each other that well. She just knew, Tessa, knew exactly like what exercises to give me that were like, okay, we did this on Friday, so today we're going to do this, right? And she would gauge that by my response, which was, hey, Vanessa, how you doing today? Which meant, what's your knee doing? So, and how are you feeling? And so it would be, let's kick it, or, well, let's take it a little easy today because not so good. Um, and he kind of doesn't know me that well. So When I hurt my knee on Sunday, I, um, I went in on Monday and I told him, it's swollen. It has a bruise. It's not doing so great today. And of course, that affects your balance and it affects the rest of your muscles. I didn't know this, but it does when you take a step back, from where you were and you have to take, a half a step back. It affects everything that you had accomplished. So my balance wasn't good. Um, it was achy. So exercising was more difficult um, than it was like on Friday. And so um, I was doing these exercises that you had to you had to lunge, and you had to lunge kind of low so that you could get your hips to balance yourself. And my balance was so off that well, first of all, you had to take a medicine ball and take it from the right side and pull it over your head and smash it down on the ground so it would bounce up a little bit and catch it. And every time I did that, I would lose my balance. And I got frustrated, and trust me, it was like the fourth time, right? So the first time I lost my balance, the second time I lost my balance, the third time I lost my balance. And I was frustrated. I was like, "You're gonna do this." So I was mad, and I took the ball and I went like that, and I went, bomb, and the ball didn't fall like right there next to me and bounce up. It kind of moved to the left, and I wasn't thinking, like, let the ball go. I went to go grab the ball. And with all this motion, I flew across the room like 2 feet as I was turning. Well, I guess I was turning this way. Somehow I flew against the wall and I hit my shoulder, and my breath, like I was like, oh, because it really hurt. And I like kind of slid down the wall. I was so embarrassed. Let me tell you, I was so embarrassed. And if any of you know me, it doesn't take much for me to cry, but like with people I know, you know, there's no way. Well, there is a way because I couldn't control it. I was trying so hard not to cry because I was already embarrassed. Of course, there were other people in there, but Jake, the new guy, he came running over and he slid down the wall too to sit right next to me. And the poor guy felt so bad, but I was more like, oh, I can't believe I didn't do that. I did, I couldn't catch the darn ball. I didn't say it, but those were like the things that were running through my mind. And he's like, listen, don't worry about it. It's okay. Let's just sit here for a couple of minutes and, let's take it easy. And so we did. And, he helped me up. And of course, we avoided that exercise. Um, and the poor guy, he apologized, and you could see it on his face. He was so sorry that that happened. But let me tell you, I got home and my shoulder hurt so bad. It couldn't even like pick up anything. I was like, oh, oh, oh. So yeah, so I had to take ibuprofen. I called my husband. I'm like, what do I do? It hurts so bad. So we have this, little machine that has sticky pads, And when I had the severe pain in my hands, due to the carpal tunnel, he would put the pads on and then it would give the electric pulses, and voila, the pain was gone. So he's like, hey, remember that electric pulse thing? Use that. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'll use that. So I did. I used it twice, and I'm much better now. I'm much better today. But it was ridiculous. It was so ridiculous. Anyway, we're gonna move on. Um, so my word of intention was execution. And I was going to execute the best I could, for as long as I could, because I had meetings today. I had, the 12-week meeting today. I had mastermind and the accountability. And so those take up a couple of hours of time. So I wanted to make sure that the rest of the time I was executing really well and listing what I needed to list, right? And I forgot to use my timer. So I was sitting on my butt and I was like, list, 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 list. Oh, look, I hit my goal. Okay, let's go to the week I'm gone and start, scheduling out. Um, but I didn't realize until my watch was like, hello, 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 get up and move. But I was really focused, real proud of how much I did today. It was great. And so, moving on to the next thing, which is uh, books. So I finished The War That Saved My Life. Man, I loved that book. I loved that book. And it has a sequel, and to be rest assured, I am going to listen to it. Did it make me cry? Yes. But it was a happy cry. It was so happy. I loved it. It was so good. Still reading The Slight Edge. We're going to talk about that today again. I know you're probably tired of hearing it, but gosh darn it, I've converted one person. Yes, I'm talking about you, Kathy. I'm going to convert every single person on this earth to Slight Edge it. And I'm still reading The Woods. Um, it's very interesting. I know we talked about this before. I didn't look it up in Goodreads um, when I had read this book before, but it's familiar, but I don't remember it. When I look at it, I'm like, oh yeah, this was a really good book, right? Like I know that, but I don't know why. Um, some books like Harry Potter, some books like, The Knight in Shining Armor, I could tell you exactly what happened, when it happened, how it happened, everything. I could tell you everything about it. And have my very strong opinions that Snape was good. Come at me. Snape was good. All right. So, but this book, um, when I'm reading it, I'm like, oh yeah, I know I read this, but and I know it was a good book, but what happens next? So I'm glad I'm reading it again. I love Harlan Coben, and I love the way he writes. So I'm fine with it. And I am reading once again The Change. So a nerdy thing about me is that I love Goodreads and I love their challenges. They have reading challenges every year, and so you put down a number, I'm gonna read 5 books this year, and, you record them, and it tells you, "Oh, you're 50% there, you're X amount of days, ahead of schedule," and whatnot. And I really never paid attention to the awards that they have. Like, they have, like, little bookmarks, and they give you awards for certain genres, and you have to read a book that they, qualifies, that's the word, qualifies for that genre, and it so happens that The Change, is in a I honestly don't know what it is. I guess it is a mystery. It's kinda sci-fi because of what happens with the people and the powers that they have, I guess, but it's actually a really good book. Eh, I'm not really sure why I had picked that one up, to read it, and I'll be honest with you, since I didn't mark it into my Goodreads because it's not done yet, I'm not sure when I read it before. It could have been the same time as The Woods, I don't know. But, and, so I want that little award thing. So I'm reading that again. Um, and so let me see how I can put this. So the thing is that I always thought of myself as a failure, right? That I never completed anything that I started, or if I started it, it didn't um it didn't succeed, right? But I compartmentalize that as with I in that section, it was me, just the things I did, not everything around me, right? Not my family or my children or the dogs or anything else. That was like a separate compartment. And for whatever reason, there was this wall. And I never considered myself a failure with my children. Was I perfect? No, nobody is. Um, no one is, right? But I absolutely did the best that I could. And I know that for a fact because I look at the things that they do now and I know I had an influence in that. And in that part, I am very proud of what I did. Um, Phil and I may have our differences and we may argue in different ways than other people argue, but the honest truth is when push comes to shove, there is no couple stronger than the two of us together. No one. Um, we have accomplished so many things together. Um, difficult, uh, losing his job. He was the only bread maker. We got through that. Um, anything, losing the house, anything that really meant something, right? Um, we always become stronger and we get through it. But for whatever reason, I would never consider that a positive. for my goals and what I did. It was always, you started the puzzle, you didn't finish it. You started this business, it failed. You started that business, it failed. Blah, 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 blah. Until someone said to me, thank you, Shar. Um, I don't know what you're talking about. Someone said I was being negative, something like that, whatever, whatever. How can you say you've never accomplished anything? Your whole house went down and look at you now. You came back from that. How can you say you never accomplished anything? Because I didn't look at it that way. And you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I did do that. And I think it was the fact that it wasn't just me, right? It was the family. It was Phil backing me up. It was the kids, um, taking care of them and making sure that their rooms are the way that they wanted them and whatever, whatever, whatever. We don't have to get into that. But I never realized that there are a lot of things that I have done that are check marks that I completed, that I did not fail in that area. And that's what started my mind just whirling about the things that I did complete, with or without Phil, with or without the kids, the things I did complete. Then I read this passage from the Slight Edge, and my mind blew. Let me read it to you. I know I'm not alone here. And if I can help any one of you feel like I feel right now, I feel like I don't even know this person. I don't know this one sitting in front of you. I don't know her. I don't know her. Um, I don't know her. Anyway, this is the passage. Yes, I'm tearing up. Shut up. Okay. Oh, sorry, I have the wrong glasses on. That's why I can't see the words. Would you like me to give you the formula for success? It's quite simple. Really, double your rate of failure. You're thinking of failure as an enemy of success, but it isn't at all. You can be discouraged by failure, or you can learn from it. So go ahead and make mistakes. Make all you can, because remember, that's where you'll find success, on the other side of failure. And that's where I came up with, I'm a freaking superstar. I'm a superstar. There's a difference between someone who makes a mistake and continues to make the same mistake, right? They don't learn from that. There's a difference. I learn from them because I can't forget them. Can't let them go, right? And that passage allowed me to let them go because they're part of me and they're part of who I am. And I've learned so much from those mistakes that I can sit here and tell you that I wish I would have known this a long time ago, but that's okay. That's okay. I am stronger today than I have ever been in my entire life, and I'm really proud of that. I hope that that passage kind of blows your mind like it did mine. I hope it helps you in some way or some form. Because if you feel like I feel right now, it's the best feeling in the world. So take care of yourself, and I'll talk to you on Thursday.